today's live stream video, we're going to discuss some news and events that are affecting e-commerce sales, as well as talk about other reselling topics. When I have a live stream, I usually interview another reseller and I have them share their tips, tricks, and techniques to help make us more profitable and successful resellers. If you're interested in reselling, then you are in the right place. I'm going to pop in the chat and say hello to a few people. I know it's Saturday and some of you might be watching a replay. I appreciate you all watching. I know Michelle was here earlier. Thank you, Michelle, for being here. Ping G, I appreciate you being here as well. And Beth, Reseller Rowboat. I guess Beth messaged me. She said she's going to hop out of her pool and try to join our live stream. So anyway, guys, as you know, those of you that follow my channel know Randy. Randy is my guest today. Randy is a friend and colleague and has been a reseller and business owner, as well as an entrepreneur for many years. Let's bring Randy on and have him say hello, and then we shall get started. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How is Randy today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm busy as all get out.
I guess that's a good problem to have, right?
Well, sometimes it's a good problem to have. Sometimes it's not. I think I'd rather be over there at Beth's in the pool than here in the heat.
You could be in the Houston area. It's probably around 100 degrees. So, all right, let's get started, guys. Like I said, those of you that watch the channel know I do some research when I'm putting together the shows. Typically the summer's kind of slow. I watch some sports channels and they're all doing lists and things. So what I do is I kind of scour the various e-commerce websites and also some retail websites. I try to find out if there's any trends or any issues or news that is affecting us as resellers. So I put together a few short articles, and Randy has a couple topics he's going to surprise me with. And like I said, guys, Randy is a very knowledgeable and experienced reseller as well as business owner. So if you have any questions for Randy about reselling or just business in general, just pop them in the chat, and Randy would be more than happy to answer them. All right, guys, so let me get started with my first article here. This is actually an eBay article. eBay to overhaul site and make it magically easy to list. eBay CEO Jamie Iannone wants to reinvent the future of e-commerce for enthusiasts, only at eBay. He told this to Wall Street analysts during their second quarter earnings conference call. The slogan, which doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, was featured in an accompanying slide deck. Iannone told Wall Street he has now set his sights on an even more ambitious vision than when he joined the company 3 years ago, when he had announced his tech-led reimagination vision for the company. Iannone told analysts to expect a comprehensive overhaul of eBay's user experience and design that would be rolled out in phases over the course of 2023 and beyond. In fact, the CEO said eBay had begun rolling out changes already in recent months by testing a more modern and intuitive view item page that offers a streamlined appearance, larger and higher resolution images, and an optimized information hierarchy. Over the next few quarters, eBay will continue to roll out an evolved look, feel, and experience, including updates to view item pages, header, homepage, search results, and other landing pages. The CEO touted a feature recently launched that offers sellers the ability to add AI-generated item description, calling it an early version of its magical listing experience powered by AI. About 30% of the users tried the feature, and 90% of them accepted AI-generated descriptions, Iannone said. 80% were satisfied with the feature, among the highest customer satisfaction rates for any new feature launched in recent memory. So we all know that AI is the future. There's been a lot of different articles about AI, and it's going to reduce the workforce. And I just read an article the other day on Yahoo, how certain types of employees are going to lose their jobs. One of them I was surprised, which I guess I shouldn't have been, was accountants, because they're going to have AI basically. I guess you just give the information to the AI, and then it artificial intelligence, and it does your tax return. You don't need an accountant. I know there's a lot of accountants that specialize in reselling, not your dad's CPA, et cetera. But that was one of the jobs they said that might be eliminated. So, Ray, do you have anything to comment on? Or you want to just hop in the next?
Yeah. Let's talk about AI.
Okay.
We all get excited about it, but let me ask you this: when was the last time you called a company and you get AI on the phone instead of an individual. And you even start yelling at it because why? It really doesn't understand what you want.
Press
That's
one, press two, press, yeah. Then you
yeah,
say what you want, and it doesn't understand you. Can you repeat that? It's like I already said it 3 times.
yeah. I don't understand.
I
Well,
don't
obviously,
understand.
uh, that's what AI is going to be like. So it's not as magical as they would like to think. And AI
You're freezing up again, Randy. Oh my word! I guess somebody must be streaming there. Randy said, "Up, you're back. I think you're back." Oh no, he's not back. All right, let me pop you out. Come back in, okay? Uh, guys, I apologize. Randy's been having some issues. He has the 5G internet. There's issues sometimes. I guess people are streaming or whatever in the area. So anyway, Joanna Paris, welcome. Thanks for joining us. All right, guys. So I'm going to my next article, and then we'll bring Randy back here. There he is. He's back. Did you want to
Okay.
finish your comment?
Yeah.
AI
Yeah.
was interfering. They don't like what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, eBay's a day late and a dollar short. Many of the sites already have it. So Shopify already has it.
Right.
So it's nothing that they were the first out of the gate with. I
No,
think
but
they
I think there could be a need for it. And I said what he said. I mean,
I think
the
there is
answer
a
is
need
coming from
for it.
him, but yeah.
When I look at a lot of listings, I just wonder, the reason they aren't selling is because they're awful. They're really sloppily done.
Yeah.
And not everybody is a competent writer. Hemingway was probably one of the most famous and prolific writers of his time, and realized that Hemingway wrote at a fourth grade level, not
People can
because,
understand fourth grade. Yeah.
yeah, not because he was ignorant, is basically because that makes it a lot more ease of reading and understanding for
I heard
people.
that. I don't know if you told me that or I heard that before. Yeah. Probably you told me that. Yeah. Yeah, but AI is in the future, and we're on YouTube, and there's the talk about using AI to generate topics for YouTube shows, and AI to generate your title of your show and your description. So AI is going to be involved in a lot of things, and the only thing that concerns me is every time eBay rolls something out, there's always glitches involved. So it's just unfortunately. Granted, it's good that they're rolling things out this time of year as opposed to rolling out in November, December, which they do sometimes, which I never understood. I don't know why they don't wait till January, February, at least get through the holiday. But
I have an Amish customer. If you want to see how well AI does not work, I should show you some of his emails to me, which he sends through his little AI device on his phone.
anonymous customers using AI. Okay, that's surprising. Okay.
Yeah, it actually is, but
Okay.
yeah, he does it, and
Okay.
his we have a good laugh every time he places an order, which is every week.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Beth says it's helping her greatly with her podcast, which is a brain freeze. Yeah. I hear you, Beth. I won't get into it, but I was reading some things about my health issues, and that's part of it, brain freeze, and then I had ADD on top of it before I even got all involved with all this stuff. So anyway, you don't want to hear about my health issues.
I had ADD in first grade, and then we went to multiplication.
Yeah, you added a subtracted, then you went to multiplication, then division. I got you. But okay. All right, guys, let's get into the second article before Randy tells us some more bad jokes. This is kind of sort of AI, not really, but it's kind of, I guess, interrelated. And I know some of you sell on Poshmark, so I thought I would bring this to your attention if you were not aware of it. Poshmark lets shoppers search for items using photos instead of words. Poshmark launched a new tool that lets shoppers search using photos, helping those who have a vision but not the words to describe an item. Posh Lens makes it easier than ever to discover styles offering a simple and quick way to source secondhand fashion and recreate looks from favorite influencers, boutiques, or fashionable friends, the company explained in this week's announcement. The technology, with Poshmark calls AI-driven visual search, leverages smart lens image recognition from Navar to prompt results for just the styles via visual search. Navar acquired Poshmark last year for over $1 billion. And I wasn't aware of that, guys. I wasn't aware that Navar had purchased Poshmark. So for those of you who don't know, that's interesting. At the time, Poshmark said it would leverage Navar's ad capabilities to drive further monetization. And in April, it began beta testing a paid ad feature called Promoted Closet. Now, familiar, eBay? Other marketplaces offer visual search, including eBay, which launched image search in 2017, and Etsy, which launched search by image in 2022. All right, sir. Again, another AI-driven item.
Anything that makes things easier will be used,
I had
and
mentioned
it's appreciated.
probably over a year ago, and I should probably do a video on this. Most people are familiar with, but the Google Lens, and that's even helpful using that like at yard sales and things. I mean, sometimes for whatever reason you can't get the item to come up on the eBay app or whatever, so or you don't know what something is to even search for it on the eBay app when you're outsourcing at a thrift store or at a yard sale, garage sale, whatever. So you use your Google Lens and you line it up and then try to figure out what that item is so you can search it to see if it's worthwhile reselling. So I think that is a good feature.
Yeah, there are all kinds of little tricks that you can use to make your product more searchable. Just by if you can add in the UPC code in at least one of your photos, maybe the main one,
Right.
actually makes your item searchable by really it doubles your vision on it. I mean, we've been using.
Uh-oh. You're freezing again after that great pro tip, Randy. All right. Got to roll with the punches. I'm going to back you out again, my friend. Come back in. All right, folks. Randy froze again. So, unfortunately, I don't know if people are streaming or they're having problems with the signal around his home or whatever, but unfortunately, he's unavailable. He'll be back shortly, I'm assuming. All right, so good thing I have all these articles. Not all these, only a handful of articles I can talk about. So, like I said, I know some of you sell in Poshmark, so I wanted to bring that to your attention. And I had heard of Navar. I should have probably, hindsight being 2020, I probably should have researched that, but I had heard of Navar before. One thing, just a quick note I was going to bring up that most of you are obviously aware of. UPS strike averted to relief of online sellers. Online sellers were sweating it out as the potential for a UPS strike drew near, but the crisis is averted. UPS announced last week it had reached a tentative collective bargaining agreement. The International Brothers of Teamsters, the union representing hundreds of thousands of UPS employees in the U.S. The 5-year agreement covers U.S. Teamsters represented employees in a small package roles and is subject to voting and ratification by union members, according to the shipping carrier's announcements. Teamster member voting begins August 3rd and concludes on August 2022. All right, Randy, let's bring him back, see if he's good. Back? There you go.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay,
It's
I'm
the
sorry.
International Brotherhood of Teamsters.
Right. What did I say? Did I read it wrong?
Well, you didn't use the word brotherhood.
I said the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, the union representing hundreds of thousands of UPS employees. I didn't say that? Okay.
No, that's okay. We'll forgive you this time.
Right.
Otherwise, we'll send Vito out.
Otherwise known as the Teamsters. Yeah, so I guess that's good. I mean, obviously, and I was going to bring it up, and I guess since we're kind of rolling along very quickly, was Randy, you would probably know, and again, hindsight being 2020, there's a trucking company. Are you familiar that went out of business? Are you familiar with it? They shipped a lot of Yellow. Thank you, Yellow. They shipped a lot. Apparently, again, you got to be. What's the term I'm looking for. I just use the term smart in the way you do business. Apparently, they were lowballing all the other trucking companies to get these transportation jobs. Transporting products for various retail stores, etc. And then they were losing money apparently, so they didn't want to pay their employees properly. And when they went to them and said, "Hey, we need more money," they just said, yeah, no, I don't know if we can give you more money. We're not doing very well." And then before they know it, they just said, "Okay, you don't want to cooperate. We're not going to give you more money." And they just shut down.
Yeah, right now the trucking industry is in tough shape. Yellow is one of the major carriers for Costco.
Costco was okay. Was one of the big okay.
That
They
was
said in the
quite,
article that there was plenty of truckers available, which is that they were big, company that was handling all that. Excuse me.
yeah, because even Amazon really doesn't use their own trucks to pick up their freight. They use other trucking companies.
Use subcontractors as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little cough here, guys. Excuse me. Let's see what Michelle has to say here. Mention in short that they got an offer and included automatic payment. Okay, Michelle. Great. Okay, people can click on that link. Don't do it now. Don't leave the show. You can click on the link after the show. But thank you for us making aware of that, Michelle. Yeah, so it is what it is, and apparently there's a lot of other trucking companies that can pick up the slack. But I guess maybe your opinion, there might be a little hiccup, you think, or with the supply chain, or you don't believe so?
Well, I mean, the supply chain is part of the problem.
Right.
Trucks have to really be full. They can't run across the road empty.
True.
I mean, a half full truck is a half paid truck. And it's, that's why sometimes your freight takes longer to get to you when you're buying, larger quantities of things. For the simple reason that they have to fill that truck to make money.
Yeah, they're not going to ship your product until they have enough to fill up the truck
Yeah,
to
and
ship it. Yeah.
that's just not for small companies. That's for larger companies. That's for companies like Amazon.
True.
Every stop takes quite a bit of time. Every and the roads are really not set up for trucks. So, the cost of
Yeah.
building things there and the cost of gas prices going up is not very friendly to the trucking industry.
And I try to avoid politics, but the bottom line is when prices of gasoline goes down, they cut off the supply, and the oil companies just say, we cut supply, and the prices have to go up. That's kind of like simple economics, I guess.
Yeah, well, see, everything that the government makes a sin, they're going to make money on, whether it's gas, whether it's alcohol.
True. Syntax is called. Yep. Most of I was in the alcohol business for almost 40 years. Yeah.
They're going to tell us how bad things are, and the first thing they're going to do is allow smoking in the House of Representatives.
Isn't that crazy?
In the meantime, we're paying to see commercials of people who have no feet because they smoked. Well, you know what? Maybe we have senators and congressmen that have no brains because they smoked. It'd be at least a good excuse for them. These are the people who've been in office for 30, 40 years. So you can't blame it on the other side. Both sides are at fault.
Yeah, we'll try to get away from politics, but Randy and I
Let's not talk about politics.
Yeah, we won't talk about politics really, but Randy and I do. I'll just leave it at this. Randy and I talk offline about various things, and regardless of what party you're affiliated with, politicians, most of them aren't very good, regardless of what party they're on or in. Okay. Let me do my next article, sir, and then you can a couple things you want to talk about. We'll have you talk about those. Okay, this article is a little involved, but I just thought I would bring it to your attention. Like I brought the Poshmark article. This kind of clothing related. I told you guys I kind of peruse the various e-commerce sites and retail sites and try to see if there's anything pertinent to us as resellers. So when I have a show and if not a lot of things going on, or I don't have a new reseller that I want to circle the whole show, pretty much having them share their experiences and their tips. I bring this up and I have Randy available for any questions or to also comment on the articles. So this is actually was on a site about retail. There's also a resale spin to it. Secondhand may be on its way out, and some consumers can't get enough of BNPL, a new report finds. We all know inflation continues to be a top of mind concern for retailers and consumers alike, and also that consumers continue to shop despite rising prices. But what are these consumers shopping for, and what sort of luxuries have they done away with for the time being? Clear that while some retailers are still struggling, it does not spell bad news for every category within retail, especially luxury and fashion. However, a very plausible recession still seems to be in sight, so nothing's certain, which is why even luxury retailers need to be aware of what consumers want. Well, worry not. Square and Afterpay data in the US dove into the data to unpack what strategies retailers should be employing and how they should be targeting shoppers to keep them engaged as part of their latest State of Retail report. The report is based on data from the first quarter of 2023. Yes, consumers are shopping, but a lot of them are paying it off later. Yep, still, of course, much of this demand for buy now, pay later is coming from young shoppers with a taste for all things luxury. Big surprise there. In fact, Afterpay noted that the number of designer merchants on Afterpay shopping app doubled between 2021 and Q1 of 2023. Millennials accounted for 45% of luxury purchases on the platform, while Gen Z made up 16%, up from 13% in 2019 over the last 12 months ending March 31st, 2023. Quiet luxury is on the rise. Quiet luxury is one of 2023's biggest trends and also one of the hardest to describe. One of those, you'll know it when you see it trends. Quiet luxury is soft and tactile. It's beige and gray. And as Vogue put it, it's less austere than minimalism, but more polished than normcore. Oh, and quiet luxury is absolutely, definitely 100% logoless. While there are several factors behind the growth and sustenance of luxury as a market despite hard times, quiet luxury, thank you, Succession, is a big one. Square and Afterpay reported that office reopenings and a decline for sophisticated office wear is pushing the trend further, as data from Square noted on the rise in items such as dress shirts, 19%, oversized blazers, 44%, and dress sneakers, 40%. See you later, resale? Yeah, we've all heard it before. Resale is booming, and honestly, who doesn't like a secondhand luxury find? Well, the current market doesn't and seems to show a drop in both offline and online secondhand sales. In Q1 of 2023, sales of vintage, secondhand, and thrift stores fell by 30% compared to 2022, according to the report. This does not mean consumers have given up on sustainability, but retailers may need to rethink the types of brands they offer through their secondhand rental programs, as shoppers would likely choose premium brands over others, according to the report. Oh, we lost Randy. I wasn't aware he had left. Sorry, guys. I was busy reading my article and I didn't realize Randy had left. I guess I'll be back shortly. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, guys. So I was all excited to have Randy talk about what he wanted to talk about. So I just want to bring this to you. I know some of you are clothing resellers, and apparently the Gen Zs and millennials are doing a lot of charging things on their credit card. I have a neighbor that literally gets deliveries every single day. Obviously, well, even on Sunday, because Amazon delivers on Sunday. Pretty much every single day of the week, she's getting something delivered via online. So that's what they buy. I mean, I think some of the older people got involved with purchasing things online with the pandemic. But the younger generation, they buy a lot of things online. So I wanted to bring that to you. I was not familiar with that. I know Beth, you're obviously familiar with fashion, and Maggie, if Maggie's watching, Maggie's familiar with fashion, and Crystal, guys, if you want to learn about fashion, follow Crystal's channel as well. Crystal is very knowledgeable about fashion, and like I said, I'm not a big clothing reseller. I'm trying to get away from it, but a lot of people talk about it's not necessarily the label of a brand, which this article was actually talking about. You know, label-less, I guess. No logo, but they actually have labels, but logoless things, and that the things that are selling are kind of beiges and things that aren't really bright colors, but they are selling well, and the younger people are buying luxury items. All right, guys, we'll have to see if Randy is coming back. I had mentioned since we're just kind of waiting to see if Randy's going to pop back in. Obviously, he's having problems with his internet today. We had talked about it, and I might as well bring it up. And I just figured I'd ask your guys' opinion on this. Mike Flippin' Goodies, who's a friend of the show, and I guess Mike's probably out at estate sales or doing what he typically does on the Saturday. And I just want to apologize to you guys about doing the show on Saturdays, and I appreciate all of you watching the replay. Unfortunately, Randy is super, super, super busy, and it's just more convenient for him to do things on Saturday. He doesn't have to get involved with shipping, still listing and changing things up and trying to improve things and taking pictures, yada yada yada. But he doesn't have to do shipping on Saturday, so that's why I'm doing as an insight. That's why I'm doing the shows on Saturday. Again, I would love to have you guys, any of you that have not been on the show, if you want to join me. I could do them, on a weeknight if you would prefer. I used to do my show on Wednesday evenings. Worked out really well for me. I was doing them at 8 p.m. Eastern, which was 5 p.m. Western. But so if any of you guys are interested in coming on, I know Roman, if you're watching, I know I've asked Roman to join me. I know he's dealing with some health issues, but Roman, I would love to have you on. Tommy, I know you're super busy, and guys, if you're not following Tommy Bernard's Instagram, he got a ton of shoes. He had a picture on Instagram today with a ton of shoes that he bought, and that's Tommy's niche. He does very, very well with it. I wanted to remind you, and I don't know if Randy's going to be coming back or not, guys. So I guess he's having issues. Again, I want to remind you guys while you're here, if you can just remember to smash that like button, the typical YouTube stuff. Smash the like button, leave a comment if you can, and it helps kind of triggers the algorithm, so to speak, and helps the channel. And if you're interested in reselling, subscribe. Like I said, Randy is very knowledgeable, and unfortunately, he's having some internet problems today. Let's see what Beth has to say up here. Put her comment on the screen here. Last week of mall brands. Yes, Beth, you did. I actually haven't watched that. I watched all your videos. I have not watched that because I'm trying to get away from reselling. Beth, I don't know if you're actually at your computer. If you want to pop the link into that, you're more than welcome to do so. Like I said, we're kind of waiting to see if Randy's going to come back. I don't want to be unprofessional and try to call Randy during the show to see if he's going to be able to rejoin us. He hasn't texted me or messaged me, so I don't know what's going on. So we shall see if Randy's going to come back. So I wanted to bring up when Mike had brought up Mike Flippin' Goodies. Like I said, friend of the show, that Mike's probably out, at a state sale or something. I wanted to bring this up, and he talked kind of about the summer slowdown. And basically, what Mike said is, to cut to the chase, is to sell replenishables. He basically said, find things that people need on a regular basis, and that they're going to consume and purchase over and over again. Become a repeat customer. And it's kind of like going back to what Randy had said before. Make sure you have good titles, good descriptions, good pictures, your price competitively. The $64,000 question is, how do you find those items? That's what I kind of was hoping that Mike and other resellers would do. Kind of suggest to you how you can find things. I don't want anybody to give away their golden goose. Excuse me. I don't want anybody to give away the golden goose and say, I sell this, that, and the other, because obviously that would hurt their sales, and obviously we're in business to make money. But Excuse me, but that's the key, guys. Finding wholesale situations, finding um, liquidation things. Randy and I is trying to teach me how to do liquidation. Back in the day, I thought I would get involved with retail arbitrage, and I'm finding that harder and harder. Um, I don't know. I don't really know like sneakers and things. So I don't really know sneakers and things. I see that the various resellers are finding things still at Ross. They're doing retail arbitrage on sneakers and things, and I rarely find anything in a retail arbitrage. But maybe that's just me. I know the flipping accountant talks about all the different things he finds at Walmart to flip. I talk about on this channel all the time about trying to make connections and trying to talk to thrift store employees, and if you're doing retail arbitrage, talking to retail store managers, department managers, et cetera, et cetera. Apparently, the flipping accountant has relationships with the various managers or department managers at Walmart, and he goes up to them, and then he's also learned when they reduce things, put clearance out. That's another good tip. Maybe you can find out when you want to do retail arbitrage. Going to stores and buying things on clearance, whatever, to flip on eBay or Walmart or Amazon or wherever, Poshmark, to find out when the clearance is going to be put out. Beth did put the link in it, guys. So we'll have to see if Randy's going to be coming back. So I just had a few things I wanted to talk about. So if Randy doesn't come back, we'll don't leave, but we'll have a little bit shorter show because Randy had told me he had a couple of topics he wanted to talk about. So I kind of allotted time for Randy to talk about those topics, and apparently Randy is having issues. Let's see what that said. Next summer slowdown was just June for me, but it wasn't super low. Good, Beth. I mean, I guess like with anything, if people are buying summer clothes, I was talking to Randy about one of the items that he had bought a bunch of liquidation, and he sold me some of his liquidation stuff. And one thing was a sweatshirt. So I said, "Oh, I noticed you reduced the price on your sweatshirt." He goes, "Yeah, well, people are buying sweatshirts when it's 90 degrees out." I said, "You got a good point there." Yeah. So I mean, if something's sitting around and not selling, uh, I kind of determine if there's a margin. Brandy and I were talking about liquidation and buying liquidation. There's one of the liquidators that we follow, and Brandy's bought a ton of stuff. And going back to me talking about building relationships, Randy has bought a lot of things from them um, just to buy things. Now, Randy obviously is in a different position than a lot of us. Randy has an extremely successful and high volume uh, business, as well as he's doing eBay and Walmart, and just his regular business is extremely successful. Back in the day, Randy used to sell through a ton of supermarket chains. He's really cut back down because Father Time is undefeated. As I'm an example of that. So he's kind of cut back, but he's still extremely, extremely busy and doing very well. But what I was alluding to was Randy had kind of built up a relationship with these liquidators, and I met him a couple of times when he was picking up liquidation. So I figured I would kind of play off Randy's relationship, and we were waiting for Randy to get there one time to pick up some of his things. And I helped load Randy's van for him, with the employee there. And I was talking to some of the employees and trying to build a relationship with them so they know who I was, and hopefully they'll recognize me. And so they would go to Randy and say, because they're seeing he's buying all these things from their auction, and they said, "Oh, by the way, why don't you come over here? I have some things I want to show you." So they would show him things, and he was getting things for like maybe a quarter of what they were selling at the auction. I mean, like 20% of what it would pay typically for liquidation. So he had built, and he was buying things, and some things he didn't even want. He just kind of, I mean, obviously Randy is in a different position than most of us because he's such high volume, and he's a very successful business person, so he has the funds to do this kind of things. But then he told me he went up there, I guess a couple of weeks ago, and the guys just loaded him up with these like super super deals on replenishables. And we're talking about replenishables, buying things that people need on a daily or weekly or monthly basis. And they sold them to them for like a fifth of what they were selling in auction. They just said, "Oh, we got a bunch of this. If you're interested, hooked them up." And Randy was telling me he's selling them so fast. Basically, he gets them listed, boom, they're gone, boom, they're gone, which has actually been a problem because they're selling so quickly for him. It's an issue. But that's an opportunity. One of the things that Mike brought up as a replenishable was, again, this is a summer replenishable, was hot tub filters. I mean, who knew? Back in the day, Mike and some other resellers told me, "Oh, buy pool filters." I didn't buy a lot, thank God. I only bought like 6 2-packs, but I can't give them away. What I found out was they were selling them like on Amazon, and they're selling them on Walmart. They're doing Walmart to Walmart. They're doing Walmart to Amazon. So that they were actually making money because they were flipping them quickly on those sites. I couldn't give them away on eBay. I got them reduced to like half of what I paid, not half what I paid for them, but half of what I was selling them for. So I mean, it is what it is. You do the best you can. So keep in mind, guys, maybe you can research. Google is your friend, so to speak. Maybe do a research on replenishables or replens, as they like to call them. There's a bunch of YouTube channels that do it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of channels that want to sell you, a program or a course to learn about that. I see it all the time. It's like I click on something. Oh, that's interesting. It's like, oh, buy this course for $399. What? As a side note, I had mentioned earlier, I guess 2 weeks ago, guys, that there is going to be little small eBay open, like satellite eBay opens. There's also going to be a virtual eBay open. So check your messages. The virtual ones are free. So you can just register for that, and you can watch virtually, or online, obviously. And then there's some regional ones. In fact, there's one in Philadelphia. I don't know if I'm going to go. I may actually kind of check into that. I'm not kind of concerned about the parking, guys, and with my health, unfortunately, I can't really walk in great distances. I need to park close, and I may actually just sign up for it. And apparently, somebody mentioned, I was in a chat talking about that, or I don't know if it was my chat or another chat, and they actually mentioned, I think it was another chat. I know what it was. I was on a Facebook post about this from the Boss Resellers Facebook group, and they talked about it, and I mentioned that, and I said, did they have any coupon codes or anything? And they said they didn't, but they also said that, and I don't know if this is true, I'm just relaying what somebody else told me, that if you purchase the $25 ticket, apparently that includes, I guess, non-alcoholic drinks and some appetizers and things. I guess they have some raffles and giveaways. And allegedly, again, this is coming from someone else. I don't know this is a fact, but they also give you a $25 eBay gift certificate. So if you purchase $25 ticket, you get a $25 eBay gift certificate. I actually won. I think it was the time that Beth and I were out there at the same time in eBay open in Vegas. I actually answered a question or something, and I got a $25 eBay gift card. I actually found it in my drawer like a year ago. It's like, oh, okay, I'll use this to buy something. So, Michelle, I don't have an Amazon account. You have to purchase insurance and yada yada yada. And when I first got involved, I actually have a course. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna do some research on that. I actually bought a course. I thought I was going to be selling on Amazon, and I had difficulty. I was trying to do retail arbitrage, with difficulty finding things to sell. But I might actually just I might actually, I don't know. I don't know if I can. Long story short, I don't want to have to buy insurance. You have to buy liability insurance and different things, and I'm not doing enough volume to generate the kind of income that's required for that. But that's a good point, though, Michelle. That was actually a good point. But unfortunately, I don't have an Amazon account. I was trying to do Amazon affiliate accounts and try to get you guys to buy some stuff, and unfortunately, that didn't work too well. But that reminds me, guys, Beth is in the chat. So I know you that watch Beth's channel, and Beth is a supporter of the channel, and I'm a supporter of Beth's channel. I consider Beth a friend. Beth has affiliate links for Amazon as well. What I want to try to figure, I would tell you guys, if you're following Beth's channel, you don't have to buy what Beth's recommending. Obviously, Beth recommends some good products to purchase. But if you say, oh, I got to buy replenishable, like, you got to buy, I don't know, toilet paper. I'm going to say you buy toilet paper on Amazon. Let's say you're buying toilet paper, or you're buying K-cups, or whatever you're buying. You click on Beth's link, or one of the things that she's recommending, and then they basically put a cookie on your account for 24 hours. Beth gets a small, commission on what you buy. It'll cost you guys. So it helps Beth out. And, like I said, we try to help each other out, try to support each other. So that's what it's all about. So, anyway, let me just make sure I covered everything, guys. I think I did. I think I got everything I wanted to cover. I just want to remind you guys that I typically do was it looks like Randy is not coming back because I guess he figured he got tired of freezing up. I hope he can do his business with internet issues. But guys, I always say if you're getting value from my channel, please consider helping me offset expenses. I have Buy Me Coffee, PayPal, Cash App, and I was talking about Randy. There's also a link to Randy's website where you can buy delicious coffee, spices, and candy. And again, Randy is kind enough to pay me a little commission at no cost to you guys want to buy anything. And again, the link is in the description of the video. Just put AE when you register on Randy's site. Again, guys, check out Randy's site. There's some interesting things. And if you want to check out Randy's eBay store, it's called Michelle's Pantry. So if you want to search and see how Randy does things, and like I said, Randy is a very talented reseller business person and entrepreneur. He's very talented. So you want to kind of see how Randy is doing things, check out Randy's eBay store at Michelle's Pantry, or check out the basic.com if you want to purchase anything. Again, if you purchase anything, just put AE and I get a little commission for Randy just as a thank you, guys. So it looks like Randy is not coming back. So guys, again, if there's anyone that's interested in doing one of these live streams with me, please reach out to me. I would be more than happy to have you. I'm tired of going to the same people over and over again. And Randy is super busy, and apparently he was having some issues with the internet today. So guys, before you leave, just remember to press that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Guys, we shall see you next time. Be well. Take care now.